Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank you. Thank you for trusting in Chicagoland Foreign Investment Group, also known as CFIG, for investing in our projects in assisted living facilities in different locations in the state of Illinois. I am standing on the first site of the assisted living facilities of CFIG in the city of Aurora, state of Illinois. Before I continue, allow me to thank the mayor of city of Aurora, the councilmen and women, the people who worked very hard in the municipality of Aurora to help us to obtain the permission to start working in this beautiful land next to the river, next to the highway, and of course the hospital being 200 meters away. Let me thank every single person who believed in our project, who believed that the projects can actually be built with the EB-5 money, with the investors' money from different countries, and of course with the backing and the support of the United States government for going through the applications, processing the applications, and allowing the $500,000 to enter the United States legally so we can use that, put American workers to work, and of course, build a beautiful location for elderly to join us and live here. Ladies and gentlemen, the CFIG is a regional center that has been established in 2009 with the permission of the Department of Homeland Security, United States CIS. What happens is that the $500,000 investments that the investors invest in certain projects in the United States, after the complete scrutiny of the United States about the source and the path of the money of the investors, just to make sure that the money has entered the country legally, and of course checking out the project's business plan, feasibility study, and everything else, the United States government will allow us to use the money to put American workers to work. This is a beautiful program. It's a beautiful program that each $500,000 will create about 10 jobs. 10 jobs that is being created by the money from foreign countries that enters the country legally, and that's important. You are witnessing one of these projects. You are witnessing people actually working, and you are witnessing the fact that these projects can get the permission of different municipalities because they are good, they are correct. They have done everything legally based on the laws and the rules and regulations of different parts of our government. So thank you. And thank you for believing in us, and thank you for allowing us to be part of your life. The Aurora Assisted Living Facility is a facility that will have about 60 units, more than half of it assisted living facilities, and the other half will be memory cares. Memory cares are the units that people with Alzheimer will be located, and the complete staff will be about 50 to 70 people will be housing here, will be working in this location after it is built. The Aurora Assisted Living Facility will be about 50,000 to 60,000 square feet, and we are hoping that it will start operation in summer of 2014. Allow me to ask Mr. John Floss to join me to tell me a little bit about the process of the EB-5. John Floss is an attorney with the law office of Camelli & Associates and Camelli Law Group, and allow me to welcome him. Mr. Floss.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for coming here.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
I appreciate it. As you know, I was explaining about the project, how it goes. We had 17 investors in this project. And how did the immigration process go? If everything is okay with the EB-5?
Smoothly. Yeah, I personally have 12 clients who have invested in the project, 10 of which are actually been approved by USCIS, meaning the additional clients should obtain approval so long as we can demonstrate the proper source of funds. But my clients are all very excited about the project, and I'm here just to kind of check on things and make sure that the project is moving along.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. So we talked a little bit about EB-5, and of course people are getting to know EB-5, what EB-5 is. What do you think about the business plan? As we know that EB-5 is good for, the first green card is good for 2 years, and after that the 829 stage comes. So what does the project need to prove for the 829 stage?
Oh, absolutely. The 829 stage is looking at a number of different things. One, they want to make sure that the investor's money has actually been committed to the project and has been utilized to actually create the jobs. Basically at that point you look at to make sure that the funds have not been paid back at all to the investor all the way through their conditional permanent residence. And the second and most important point is to make sure that the project has developed to the point where jobs have been created or will reasonably be created. And what we would really like to see is the doors to the facility potentially being open, and that there actually employees have been hired and the project is online, so to speak.
Now, some of the construction money that will be spent will be used for the showing that the jobs are created, correct?
That is correct. For the first investors, it is actually a good benefit because we don't need to demonstrate that the doors are online at that point. The construction in and of itself will create jobs to cover all of the initial investors that are through there. But as you can see, the project is moving to the point where I'm comfortable that the doors are going to be open, the facility will be online, the jobs will be created for all of the investors as they move towards their IA-29s.
Wonderful. Now, this project in particular, in summer of 2014, is going to open its doors to elderly. By that time, I believe there are 2 investors that their A29 will become due. How do you feel about those cases?
Well, as I mentioned, I feel very comfortable with it. Again, that's why I'm here to kind of make sure that the project is moving along. And again, the level of financial commitment we have as far as the construction goes will allow us to cover the initial investors and their IA-29s. And then at that point, we'll have actually the jobs created, the full direct employees and the indirect that come from that, and that'll cover all of the investors as they move one by one through their IA-29.
Wonderful. Mr. Floss, besides this project, you have other clients in other assisted living facility projects of the EB5, correct?
That's correct. We have a number of assisted living facilities spread throughout the greater Chicagoland area. This is, along with an Elgin project, are ones that are actually have the construction started at this point. But we're excited to see seeing CFIG's projects start to grow, and my clients in particular are excited to, as they enter the country now, to see the progress of the facilities as they work towards their IA-29s and removing the conditions on their permanent residency.
Wonderful. Mr. Floss, thank you so much for coming up here this morning.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
Thank you, sir. As you see, the creation of job is very important. As Mr. Floss indicated, the jobs have to be created within the first 2 years of the investors entering the country. Now, each investor enters the country in different time, so creating the jobs within the first 2 years is very important. Some of the jobs can be created prior to the investor's arrival, and the construction jobs, of course, do count in regards to counting the jobs for each investors. Allow me to ask Mr. Alan Samika to join me to explain a little bit about the project. Mr. Samika, good morning, sir. Great seeing you. Great seeing you. Mr. Samika, we were talking a little bit about the EB5 and the CFIG projects, and as you said, I can see here that everything is going well. Thank you, and in advance, I thank the individuals in the city of Aurora for helping us. So tell me about this project. What do you think?
It's interesting that you thank the city. The city's been very involved with the project. There's been a lot of government cooperation with this. As you understand, we'd be hooking into the government utilities. A lot of that work is done now. They were concerned about our proximity to this very important river that's adjacent to the property, making sure that we control the silt so that we're not polluting and contaminating the river. And as you may recall, the local government also had a hand in the building's design, helping us select the brick colors and all those things. In addition, it's sort of interesting, the Illinois Historic Preservation Agency also had a hand in the project. Near the river is where the Indians used to live, so there was some historic value to the property, and again caused some delay for us, but we're certainly under construction now.
Excellent, excellent. Mr. Samika, would you explain to us your position in this project and many other projects of the CFIG?
I would be the construction project manager. So my job is to make sure that we hire the right qualified subcontractors for the right price, and then make sure that they execute their work properly.
Excellent. I know that you are involved in the Aurora project, of course, and I know that you're involved in Elgin, Wooddale, Barrington. How are those projects going?
Things are moving along. Similar to the Aurora project, we're entering the discussions with government. We're just about finished with those discussions now in Elgin, where they've decided exactly where they want the building, how they want it positioned, and how we tie into adjacent properties. Wooddale, similarly, Wooddale's very excited about the project. Very big building in Wooddale on a busy street near the train station. And then in Barrington, similarly, we're beginning discussions to understand what kind of building they'd like to see in their community.
Wonderful. Now in 2013, of course, Aurora is under construction. Elgin is next, correct?
Yes.
And then hopefully Wooddale, we are waiting for some approvals about the Wooddale.
Yes. Yes,
and
absolutely.
that's a big project, right?
And Wooddale, again, been very cooperative, understanding that, that the project's complex. They're letting us start parts of it without all the final details ready for the last of it. So again, just good exchange with government. Takes some time, but they've been very helpful.
How big will this building be?
This one's a little more than 50,000 square feet.
And this is the smallest facility for the CFIG, right?
50,000 feet is the smallest building.
Which is about 60 units, right?
Yeah,
Excellent.
54.
Other locations are 80,000, 100,000 square feet, right?
Correct. In fact, Wooddale's over 100,000, 6-story stall, different construction type as well.
Based on the money that the CFIG has raised for all the assisted living facilities, the way it seems like more than 350 to 450 units will be built in 2013 and 2014.
Yeah, I find it interesting, not a marketing expert, but I find it interesting that that doesn't absorb the market in any of the places you're building.
Right, and the market is asking for more. For example, based on the recent market study that was done here, I believe there is a need for more than 300 or 400 more units for Aurora.
It's part of why the city was so excited about having your project here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for all you have done, and absolutely we'll definitely talk soon. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, creating a project needs experts. And believe me, sometimes to have the experts is not going to be that easy. What CFIG had done to bring architects, contractors, general contractors, subcontractors, project managers, engineers, all under one roof, just to make sure that the projects are done correctly, accurately, based on the rules and regulations of the municipalities. That is the most important thing. Hopefully we can show you next time other projects that we will have, and definitely we're going to come back to see the site as the foundation is built, as the building is going up, and give you more reports. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Until the next time.